how do these trades work on draft night? Do teams call you when you're on the clock, and how do you handle all that in such a short period of time? So Lynch gives this great story. He's like, last year in the 4th round, this is a direct quote, we took a receiver, Jacob Cowing. We were having trade discussions, so we got down to like a minute 45 left in the round. Then it was going to be Cowing or a linebacker. Kyle and I like listening to our scouts, so I'm like, Kyle, we got to go. And he's like, no, we've got 45 seconds. So I said, okay, show of hands. Who likes the linebacker and who likes Cowing? And it was really close, like right down the middle. I'm like, Kyle, we're going. And he's like, hold on, we have plenty of time. 30 seconds left. Another show of hands. Now there's 20 seconds. And he says, one more time, throw him up. I get the decision. I turn it in. And I think we went down to like 2 seconds before we got the pick in. And you can forfeit your pick. So that was the closest call we've ever had. Little hairy. What do you think of that story?
Well, I love it. I love it. I have 2 takeaways from that. How is Cowing supposed to feel?
I'd be throwing up if I were Jacob Cowing.
I'd be throwing up, right?
Yeah.
How is he supposed to feel? The other is show of hands. I mean, at a certain point, Bill Walsh would say, we're going with so-and-so.
Yeah.
Show of hands. If this is true, and I think it's true, at a certain point, the leader has to be the leader. You can't, it's not always a democracy. And it makes me wonder, again, in that setting, about Kyle's leadership. Now, I want to say one other thing, which I've told you. Bill Walsh made the final decisions on who to draft. And I know this for a fact. Obviously, he wasn't on the college trail scouting college players. He was coaching the team. So if the assistant coaches and the scouts said, we want so-and-so, okay, Jerry Rice, he would say, okay, what I want you to do is prepare video of Rice's or Joe Blow, 10 best plays, 10 worst plays. That was what Bill asked for. I want to see his 10 best, 10 worst plays. He would look, he was a genius at that, and he could make a decision. I wonder if Kyle does that. I don't know. Kyle, John, get me 10 best plays, 10 worst plays. I'm going to make the decision now, not with 2 seconds left.
Prize Picks is sponsoring the Cone Zone this year. Prize Picks is the leader in daily fantasy and the best place to win cash while watching sports. And the best part about the app is it's really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few players' stats. I'm a Niners guy. So, when I'm doing Prize Picks, I'm looking, the last couple of years, I'm looking at Deebo Samuel because I know Deebo Samuel better than Deebo Samuel knows Deebo Samuel. So if it's like drops, I'm taking more. Or if it's like punches thrown towards his long snapper on the sideline during the 4th quarter of a game, the 49ers will go on to win. I'm smashing more because I know the 49ers and I'm a Prize Picks guy. Now, maybe they didn't have those exact plays, but they have so many plays that'll make your head spin. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Best part about it is the new user offer. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. So win or lose, you'll get $50 just for playing. That sounds like a win to me. Use promo code COHN, COHN, to claim your $50 today. Tell them Grant sent you. And not because some scout who raised his hand for the linebacker changed his mind at the last minute, and then raised his hand for Jacob Cowing and broke the tie. Like, that's how Jacob Cowing got on the team. And then you get him on the roster, and you're like, well, why does Jacob Cowing only have 4 targets and 6 targets and 4 catches all season? Because, to use John Lynch's phrase, the Niners just weren't convicted about Jacob Cowing.
Apparently they weren't.
They just weren't convicted. They didn't have consensus.
It's funny. He does say that a lot. And we're both Stanford guys. And I'd like to take him aside and say, it's not how you use that verb, but it is kind of cute, actually. But if I were teaching him freshman English, which I did teach a lot of freshman English there, I would probably put a circle around that and say, please look it up, John.
So Jacob Cowing was on they raised their hands, they voted, and then they drafted another wide receiver in the same round this year. Jacob has a lot to prove.
Iggy, in fairness to him, I thought he was pretty good.
I liked him. I liked him.
I thought he was good, and I was surprised he didn't get thrown to more.
Well, the thing about this is like all offseason, Lynch has been talking about how, this year we really want to focus on getting consensus with our draft picks because we've gotten in trouble when we haven't had consensus. And I was thinking they're talking about Trey Lance because I can't imagine they actually all agreed that he was the right pick. But I was thinking that's ancient history. Apparently, as recent as last year, they were raising hands.
Raising hands.
You think they did the raise hands method this year?
I don't know.
Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals factor in the flavor with none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/cone50off and use code cone50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's cone50off at factormeals.com/cone50off for 50% off plus free shipping.
The only time I ever heard about raising hands with Bill Walsh, and I've told this, he called them, he had Steve Young and Joe Montana, and Joe was a starter. So he calls all his coaches together around a big table, and he says, I'm thinking of trading Joe and starting Steve. Everybody who agrees with me, raise your hand. I know, because I know a guy who was in the room. No one raised their hands. No one raised their hands. No one wanted to get rid of Joe Montana. Joe, I don't know if you know
like a test from Joseph Stalin that you're like, am I going to get killed if I answer this the wrong way? Am I going to get fired? Like, no.
Joe, no one raised their hands.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. We got one super chat and then some prize picks. Aaron Galvin says, why do players want extensions before the contracts are up?
That's what I like to know. A contract is a contract. I'm with you.
They want that security, Dad.
I want
security. And I understand
too.
It's football and it's violent and you want guarantees. That's from the player's perspective. But from the team's perspective, it's like, this is violent and it's painful. And I don't really want to give you guarantees because maybe you'll play even harder if you don't have the guarantees and you're like striving to get them. So it's,
or maybe you're Ayuk, we give you the guarantee, and poor guy goes down and may never be the same. So I think a contract is a contract. I do. I don't like this.
The young Montana has been a member for 44 months. Thank you. I think the problem is when the Niners extend Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch with like 3 years left on their deals, then it's like, how do they turn around and tell Fred Warner that you have 2 years left on your deal and you got to honor it? It's like, nah, man, I make more money than you. I'm more important than you. Give me some money.